Okay. What that picture is terrible. I can't stand YouTube with these thumbnails. Y'all be catching me looking crazy. Anyway, good afternoon. I just be lying, capping. I can't stay off of here. But I want to do a little review on Iyanla Fix My Life with Lisa Raye, her mom, and her daughter, and the generational curses and the lessons that I got from that. So, you know, Lisa Raye is an actress. She was in the Players Club as Diamond. A lot of people know her from that role. She was also in other movies. She was in, what else was she in? She was in that show, All of Us. All of Us. That was the story of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. So she played Jada's character. No, she didn't play Jada's character. She played his ex-wife, Sherry. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Lisa Raye's situation with her mother is this. Lisa Raye was a father. She was very close with her father. She was a daddy's girl. Her father was a businessman in Chicago, and he had a lot of women. Okay, and that's how the brat was born because Lisa Raye's father, you know, had outside kids. He was married to Lisa Raye's mother, but he was a cheater and he was abusive. But Lisa Raye adored him. The mother couldn't stand him. Um, hey Ramses, you said that was a good show. I watched it too. Her mom been through a lot of shit. Right, exactly. You said I like how Iyanla called her queen mother. Yes, yes, because she needed empowerment. And it's crazy because Halo Fat, she has to be in her late 60s, 70s. Because Lisa Raye is damn near 50 if she's not 50 already. And Lisa Raye always talks about how great her father was. You know, and in between that, she witnessed him cheating on her mother. There's men that will bring their children along for the ride. And she happened to be one of those kids, but she still loved her father. What's up, William Rivers? Hey, Nisha Marsh. She still loved her father, even though she knew he was doing her mother wrong. So that put a strain on her and her mother's relationship. From then, Lisa Raye's dad died when she was 13. She's the only child of her mother. Her mother never worked. Her mother said she's from Mississippi. She was picking cotton. And she's not even that old. Real ADOS. She said she was tired of picking cotton. She was like, she had a lot of brothers and sisters. She was the seventh child. And she married a man that happened to have money. So I think that was, not that I think, I know that was what attracted her to him. But the same thing that attracts you to somebody could be the same reason for your demise. Okay? Margarita, hey, how are you doing? That was the reason for their demise because he used money as a weapon. You said she in her 70s because Lisa's 52. Oh, she's 52. Okay. I didn't know exactly her age. What's up, Black Love 17? You said that was very common back then. A brother that had some money had a lot of girlfriends, right? And she said she wasn't educated. She came from a plantation, basically, and she moved to Chicago. He gave her a better life. And she said she saved through the abuse and the cheating because she wanted to give Lisa Raye a better life financially. Oh boy, my purse is about to fall. And so Lisa Raye said she was so spoiled that she would go to school and say, Daddy, they having chicken today. I want pizza. And he will come and bring her pizza. That's how spoiled she was. And so the mother was highly upset because she's getting treated badly. So Iyanla pointed out something that was very, very deep. She said, is it true, Lisa Raye, that can you say that you were basically put in a position to compete against your mother? Your father created an environment to where you were like his other woman, competing with your mom. Because while she's getting treated badly, you're manipulating your father into getting you things. You're using manipulation for money. Your mother was okay with the whole money situation, so she's equally a manipulator. Then her daughter is 30 years old. She has a young daughter, and she feels a disconnect to her mother because her mother's very controlling. Lisa Raye, everybody lives with her. And even though her mother is the elder, she has her rules of her house, which I'm not saying she shouldn't have rules, because listen, let my mother live with me. Listen, we both adults. You're gonna have to, I respect you as my mom, but you're gonna have to respect me on the level of a woman if you're living with your children. Sophia Carter says, yes, Lisa is a personality within itself. Yeah, but she gets it from her mother. And she doesn't even see it as that. She doesn't even see that she has the same exact personality as her mom. Her mother has bitterness. She's still angry. This man been dead for over 40 years, or over 30 at least. And she's still holding and harboring the pain of it all. And she's an elder now. They situation so deep in the comments. I was watching it on YouTube, y'all. Y'all don't have to have cable to watch this. Put into the YouTube search engine, Iyanla Fix My Life with Lisa Raye. Listen, it was a good episode. B1 Midnight Green, because those generational curses, boy. Her daughter is 30 but still living with Lisa. Yes. And it's because she probably spoiled her with money. And her daughter doesn't have a concept of who she is. Iyanla basically was stressing self-realization, self-worth, knowing yourself as a woman. And although they are all beautiful women, they have a hardness within them. The same kind of hardness that I have, but I don't want to be like that. And that's why shows like that are good, because I don't want to become an elder and be holding on to failed relationships, holding on to a failed marriage and whatever. Like, you gotta let that pain go and get you some new pain and keep it moving. I'm just saying. Yeah, he manipulated them both. It gives a better understanding of Lisa and how she moves. Exactly. He manipulated both of them. He used his money, power, and status against his family. He used it. That's a part of manipulation. So the generational curse in this is that the mother's harboring all the bitterness and angriness, and she's angry still with the father, and he's deceased. She's angry with her daughter because her daughter took his side and adores him still in his death. She can't move forward. And so her energy is rubbing off on her family members. Jabari, can you close this door? I'm loud. I'm sorry. Her bitterness is rubbing. No, you don't have to close that out, but you know what I'm saying. The bitterness is what the children see. And those shows are good because I am suffering with something similar. And I don't ever want my children to feel like she's just an angry, bitter person all the time. So when y'all see me having fun and cracking jokes, listen, my personality is not for everybody. Last night we went out to the restaurant with some of my friends and they were saying I was loud. I'm like, but y'all know I'm loud though. And I came out to have a good time. Listen, I can only do what makes my spirit happy. It may not make your spirit happy, and that's fine. We don't have to be around each other. But, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that deep. I'm just saying, people kept shushing me. I had a great night. I was enjoying myself. And I feel like life could go either one or two ways for me. I can either revel in the pain or rise above it and find ways to make me happy. And I think a lot of us have reveled in pain for too long. It's easier said than done. It's not easy, but you know, life coaches, people like Iyanla is so dope. I hope they learn something with helping them see their shortcomings, right? I feel like they gonna need a part two. A lot of people in the comments was asking for a part two, and y'all don't understand. It's fans out here that they will write Iyanla's show. They will write on. Like, listen, we gonna need a part two with Lisa Ray and her family. Okay, who's this? Joyce Lane Cody, your channel sucks. I don't like you. Well, thank you for tuning in though. Ramses Seven, Iyanla said they can come back in 6 months after the show. Right. But we might need a part two and part three. Hey, Kathy B, and moderators, y'all don't gotta block people that say stuff like that. We need the haters, because if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So I mean, it's a familiar pain, and his heart. It's hard to let go. I agree with you. Replace it with some happiness, right? Like I said, it's easier said than done. I'm not saying it's easy for everybody. Especially, she probably put her all into that relationship, into that marriage. And to know you put your all into something, you know, we as women are supposed to move accordingly. We're supposed to be faithful, loyal, homemakers, whatever, being with the children, and lose ourselves in that. You know what I'm saying? And then you lose yourself in a relationship, a marriage sometimes. And then when that person is no longer present, you're left with the bitterness because, damn, who am I now? Because I relied on this person for mostly everything. Now when they are gone, who am I? And so being submissive is great. Having a man that has the bag is great. But like we were talking about the other day, the 50-50 and the percentages and all of that, people have to do what works for them. So that you don't have a man who's coming with 100%. And you ain't really coming with much of 10%, not even 10%. And so he's gonna run the show. His attitude towards you is going to tell of the dynamic of your relationship. Any man, I don't care what nobody say, that is in 100% control of the finances is going to treat that woman bad. Y'all could disagree. But you said the owner looked like a blonde-haired man. Oh, those are locks though. He dyed his locks blonde. Malik Sykes, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Ramses Seven says, now I understand why Lisa don't have a man also. And she doesn't realize it. See, when she was younger, she was bad. She had the swag. You know, she probably was more easygoing back then. You know, over time, that attitude gets worse. The older you get, the more no nonsense you are. So she's like a no nonsense person. She wants things to be the way she wants it to be. Nisha Marsh says, hopefully when they do a part two, the daughter is on her own and she came across young-minded. Right. Like she's still in her 20s. But that's why Iyanla was saying, speak with your heart. You're speaking with your mind. You could tell she's not fully present. Like she's one of those people that's not fully invested in a conversation. Like her attention span is not there. Like she's pretty, she's a beautiful girl, but you could tell she's not totally there with the conversation because it's something underneath that smile. Yes, I know what you was talking about. The mom was so tense during the entire show. I saw myself in the issue, but handled it totally different. And me and my child have a great relationship. Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy B. Right. She was very tense because she's hurt. And some people don't know how to let that hurt go until the person who hurt them resolves the hurt. Everybody can't say, you know what, I forgive them and I'm moving on. Sometimes the hurt is so deep that you need an explanation from the person that actually hurt you. That's why this was so great that they went on Iyanla, because both of them needed to hear exactly what was said at the end of that show. Y'all both are wrong. The mother, You are the example for the other queens, the queen and the princess. You're the example, queen mother. Lisa Raye, you knew this man was inappropriate, like Iyanla said, but you doted on him like he was the best thing. Yes, you can have a relationship with your father, but understand that he's hurting your mother, and your mother is important as well. What's up, the real Black historian king? You said, wake up. A good example of man being in control and being hateful is the movie Sleeping with the Enemy and the movie Enough. Those men were horrible. Yep, exactly. And so that's why, as a woman, my advice for women is to always have something of your own. And it may not be a career or job, because I am never the one to tell people to get a job. That's up to you just to decide if you want to make money or not. I'm saying have something of your own that can generate income. It may not be paying a mortgage, but it's, a way to have your own money, because unfortunately, every man that is a provider is not a protector. So he may be able to provide a good lifestyle, but is he making sure your heart is protected? Is he giving you, is he emotionally available to you? This is another thing I wanted to talk about with relationships. It seems like a lot of men are not emotionally available. I could be wrong because I haven't dated every man, but I'm saying I want to pose the question. Even when you're in a relationship, even when you're in a marriage, for the ladies to answer, is an emotionally available man important to you? And when I say emotionally available, I mean, does he care about your heart? Does he take care of your heart, your spirit, what you're going through emotionally? Does he care? Does he show compassion? Is he trying to resolve the issue with you? Or does he dismiss it and act like it doesn't matter, because men are not supposed to have feelings? Men don't show their emotions. Yes, any new viewers, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the drop down notification and the notification bell to get notified when I go live. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Even the trolls that hate me, that hate my show. I love y'all too. Because only love can combat hate. Thank you, Nisha Marsh. Today I'm not for it. I'm a no-nonsense person, but I'm calm today. I took matter of fact, I made a batch of cereal bars, so I had to taste one of them just to make sure it was on the up and up, and I'm feeling the vibes. Low fat, you're emotionally available for me? Okay. And what does that entail to you? Because, again, men think that by them tapping into their emotions, that makes them soft, that makes them weak. And they think that we are not going to like seeing them in a weak, you know what I mean? In our I view, or our perception of them, excuse me, they don't want to appear as weak to us. So by them displaying emotion is what? Feminine? Because I think that's an issue we have in the Black community. These emotionally unavailable men, okay, who have narcissistic behavior patterns, want what they want, but don't want to reciprocate. They want you to show that emotion to them, but they don't want to reciprocate a lot of times. And so, ladies, is it important for a man to be emotionally available to you? They may not have learned how to be emotionally available, or do not know how to display being sensitive to the women's emotions. Facts. But why is that? Whose job is it to teach men how to be emotionally available? Real women will appreciate a man's true emotion. Thank you. Whose job is it? Think about all the single mother homes. Good afternoon, Papa Soul Searcher. Who's teaching these men how to be emotionally available. Thank you for tuning in, Jaja Gucci and Mary. Hola. So once we identify these generational curses, right? Knowing a lot of what, not even, fuck all of that. Fuck coming from a single parent home. You could come from a 2-family home, and sometimes the father, the patriarch in the home is emotionally unavailable. So it's the mother's job, because like my homegirl Jaja said, we just had this conversation. It's the mother's job to be the nurturer, to be the emotional one, right? But how are we gonna teach our sons how to be emotionally available for their woman if we are so caught up in our own pain? Let me say that again. When your sons turn 18, he is no longer your son. He's somebody's husband. He's somebody's father to be. But a lot of mothers treat their sons like their surrogate husbands. So he can't fully be emotionally available to a woman that he's dealing with because he has to fill in the gaps for his mother. And that shit gotta stop. You said they may also have their guard up to not be seen as a simp, whatever actually is simp. I like that because simp always comes up. The parents or the father, both. But I'm gonna stay on the mothers for a second. You said very important. I'm not trying to date no robot. Show me you have feelings. Thank you. I think a lot of men think that being a man means showing your strength at all times. I respect a man that could shed a tear. I respect a man, that can have an emotion, because that doesn't make you weak. Actually, that makes you stronger. Because when you bottle up the emotions inside, it may come out in a more disgusting manner. Sophia Carter, you said sometimes couples are in a relationship with someone that don't even like them. So they may not invest at all. They are available emotionally to others. So thank you for saying that. Bros versus hoes is a common theme in the Black community. And I hate to be so vulgar in saying hoes, because I shouldn't say women are hoes, it's just that it rhymes. But bros before the ladies is a common theme, because what I've been noticing is that the black men that I'm encountering, they're more emotionally available to their male friends than their women. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. Oh, private conversations. You said that is so true, and I agree with you on that. Your child is not your man. That's what I'm seeing, and it's more than one occasion, y'all. I'm not talking about one specific instance. I'm talking about over the years, some of the things that I've seen. I'm like, when are you gonna teach your son that he's not your man? He's somebody else's man. I don't ever want to be that woman. I don't need my son for every little thing. I need my son to maybe help me with the groceries if I don't have a man. I may need him to fix things around the house, but I'm not gonna rely on him to fill a void for a man that I don't have. Men will call their women bitches and call their friends beloved. Well, backwards is shit, yo. If I was you, I would cry every day like Keith Sweat. if you was me, Black Cherubim. Okay. Yeah, but that is backwards as shit, Jaja Gucci. Like, what's going on here with our black men? There's some good ones out there. There's some ones that's on the straight and narrow. But then there's those. Okay, I gotta turn my ringer off. That's so goddamn low vibrational that they don't even know it. They don't even understand how ridiculous they look. Ladies, you might not want to hear this, but a mother can't teach or show a boy how to be a father or husband. Only a man or father can do this. The boy will mimic everything that father or man does, good or bad. So basically, what you're saying is, if a man comes from a single home, a single parent home with a mother, that he more than likely is not going to be ready to be a father, or he's not going to have the right tools to be able to be a father. It might take him some trial and error to figure it out. Black Love 17 says some men may feel their bros treat them better than their women in situations of how he'd feel. That does have to change in our community. They care about their boys' feelings before they care about their woman's feelings. Men will ridicule a woman for being in her emotional bag, right? But when your boy want to fight somebody, when he got beef in the streets, you be okay with riding out for him, though. That's an emotional bag too. It's just coming off in a different way. So we got a lot of generational curses we got to work on. I ain't that young, but thank you for the compliment. Yep. No, Papa Soul Searcher made a lot of good points. It's a fact. And it's sad. And the same goes with us women that came from single mother homes. The same is true with us in relationships with men. I will be honest in saying I can clearly see now that my father not being in my life played a role in how I relate to men, because I had to figure it out on my own. You see, Lisa Raye had her father in her life. Even when her parents broke up, her father was in her life. He doted on her. He spoiled her. So he set the standard for what type of man she was looking for. When you don't have anybody there to set the standard, you got to figure out the hard way, the long, hard way, what type of man is the type of man you should be with. So our parents' influence is so important, because we think that we have a different personality from our parents. And we pretty much do, but we pick up on those little generational curses of theirs and we don't realize it, because it's what you see you're going to mimic, or what you don't see you are missing. There's a void. Okay? So a lot of us women that didn't have a father in the home, our journey is harder because we didn't have a man to tell us how dope we were from the beginning. We didn't have the self-worth to know that we were beautiful, we were cherished, we were loved, we were valued. So you end up putting yourself out there for men when you shouldn't be. You're giving more of yourself than you should, because you were never it wasn't instilled in you to see how a man should treat you. Your father's your first boyfriend, in a sense, not in a sexual way, in a sense of what to look for in a man. And when you don't see it, you don't know. He will miss out on some very important lessons on life and how to treat and love a woman properly. But first, he must love himself first. Right. Black Cherubim says, real talk, there's more to raising a boy to a man than not having a father around. Black Americans have lost more than fathers. In my opinion, it comes down to them feeling vulnerable, and then maybe feeling that a woman may try to take some kind of advantage of them in some form, and they don't want that. That's another good point. That's a good point. You said, and if you grew up with women always running things and no men present, and take a while for you to step back and let a man be a man. I know that was my case. Thank you for sharing that, Nisha Marsh. And that is something that resonated in me as well. Let me set this disclaimer real quick before I get into that. There's people that watch my channel who don't tell me that they watch it. They just like to run their mouth on the sidelines. And this is people in my real life. Let me set this disclaimer for anybody that watches me. My story is my story. You may not agree with me telling my story, but then you can log out because I'm gonna tell my story. Has nothing to do with me telling. I don't tell anybody else's personal business. A lot of stories if I want to tell a story, I won't say the person's name. I'll say somebody I know, somebody close to me. I'm not incriminating nobody but myself. So, with my situation, this is my life. I grew up in a single mother home. My mother might even feel a way that I'm telling y'all that, but that's the truth. And that's her issue to deal with, not mine. This is my story. I watched my mother working. She always worked. We were never in the situations that I was in with my kids. She always had a place for us to live, always had nice clothes, stuff like that. However, although I feel like I had a great childhood, I didn't have anybody trying to molest me or doing anything, abusive or anything like that. In hindsight, I didn't get a chance to fully develop into the woman I should have been. You know why? I had no male presence in the home. So my idea of relationships and men and how I view men was altered. Watching my mother work her ass off and doing it for herself, being independent, that did something to me. I didn't get to see a man doting on a woman. I never saw it. So what do you think that's going to do to me in relationships? Do you think I'm going to expect that when I didn't see it? We have no legacy. All right. You're dragging it, Black Cherubim. There's a lack of navigation for both genders when a parent is absent. Exactly. Thank you for that. Yep. It could be a lack of navigation with both parents in the home, but it makes it twice as hard when you have that either one of the absence is going to play a part in your personality. And people need to stop being so judgmental towards people and have more understanding for people. There's so many people that I've heard men say they don't date women who came from single mother homes. Because a woman like me, yeah, I might have issues, but guess what? You have issues as well. We all need healing. We all need healing. So the judgment, first and foremost, got to stop because we all could use healing. Nobody is exempt from healing. That's my opinion. You said, I didn't realize until I got older that because I grew up with my dad at home that I react differently to men. It's rough when the dad is not there. So again, but it becomes that child's fault that she didn't have or he didn't have one of the parents in the home. It becomes their burden to carry because they're lacking something. They're lacking knowledge of something. They're lacking how to relate to the opposite sex because they didn't get to see it. Or maybe they saw too much of it. Some single mothers brought too many people around their children. What does that do to a child? It's so many different things that can affect us watching our parents and the things that they had to emotionally go through. Excuse me. So for me, the most hurtful part in the fact that my father wasn't in the home is that I get judged for it. You get ridiculed for it. It's like it's somehow my fault that I don't have the same knowledge or understanding that a woman who grew up with a father in the home does. It becomes my fault because I had to go the harder way and make mistakes to learn the lesson, whereas you might have already gotten the lesson. So you say you have a point. Seeing men doting on women does help to shape the way a child will enter a romantic relationship. Exactly. The things that I grew up seeing wasn't the greatest as far as a man and a woman's correlation to each other. What I saw in close proximity to me was brokenness. My grandparents was together, but and I don't want to talk about their business, but the last probably 20-something years, they slept in separate bedrooms. I knew they were best friends, but the romantic part was gone but they stayed in the same household. So that right there is not something that a child should see, because that's very confusing. And then when you don't have the adults to explain to you why this is happening, it makes it even worse. That's why I want to explain to my children, you may see me going through this, but that's not what I want for your life. I may not be in a successful relationship, but that's the way it should be, and that's what you should aspire to. Don't look at my pain. This is my journey. Your journey is going to be different. People need to exercise a little more patience in a relationship. Nothing is a Disney movie. It's not. And Disney messed us up. Disney messed us up because especially as little girls watching Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and Rapunzel and all these movies, you're seeing a man that's a knight in shining armor. He's a prince. Meaning he got money, looks good, knight in shining armor. Too bad that type of shit really doesn't happen to everybody. Because unfortunately, every man didn't get to grow up with a father to become a protector and provider. So we all have issues and we all need healing. And I'm gonna do this relationship live because I know y'all was asking for it. My daughter's birthday is this weekend, so this weekend gonna be a little sketchy. I could do a few more videos incorporating some Black businesses. What's up? And then I want to start working on the Ancestor Live. How you doing? Oh, I'll talk to you in a minute. Everything good, G? Oh, I like that. What's that? Oh, y'all back together. I can't stand y'all. Get out of here. I know I'm the love doctor. Yeah. Oh, sorry, y'all. My little brother's friend, him and his girl was going through relationship problems. And look, I took the bitterness out of myself and I talked to them, talk life into them about being a player ain't the way to go. You think you're gonna find another guy that cares about you this much? I've had all these conversations, and this is what I want more single mothers, single fathers, whatever, to do. Talk to your kids about the situation and let them know this is not the right way. Yeah, my situation didn't work out, but you don't have to go this route. You said Disney always have a happy ending, non-reality. Exactly. Knight in shining armor. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? I never explained that to my children. I just thought about that as a good man. Neither did I teach my son how to choose a good woman. But you're not the only one, and don't feel bad. Guess what? That's why Iyanla show is so powerful, because you can use these tools in your own life. It's never too late to now get it right. I'm not gonna sit here and make myself feel like because I've made mistakes or I didn't know the right thing to do in past relationships. No, I can change for the better going forward. Once you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? And that's something it hurts my mother when I say certain things to her, like what I just shared with y'all. What you see is not always about, oh, well, I provided a life for my kids. I gave them what they needed. They went to school, getting good grades, making sure they had good hygiene, all of that. But what about real life situations where being in a relationship is one of the most real life situations, because what comes from relationships is children. So we got to start talking to our children about before they get the child, how did you get there? Was you in love with this person? Are you building something towards them? Do you want to be with this person forever? Otherwise, don't have no kids. I did it. I love my kids, but I'm going to tell them too. Like, I wasn't in a greater situations, and I don't want you to go down my path. I'm not going to withhold that from them. They need to know my truth. Period. One of my father's favorite sayings when we were kids was Disney got y'all fucked up. There's no happily ever after with a man. It's only we will work at it and get better. Exactly. Oh shoot, I skipped your comment, Papa Soul Searcher. I thought I read that. When it comes to life, we've been taught in reverse. We put the cart before the horse every time. Exactly. Exactly. Every time. And that's why I have these conversations because it's not too late. Some of y'all still have kids that could be saved. Saved from the pains that we went through. I'm not saying we can give our kids all the answers and lead them with our hand because they become adults and they're gonna be on their own, making their own decisions. But gotta reiterate to them what it's supposed to be, not what it is. Also in relationships as well, right? Exactly. Sophia Carter, yes, learn daily. Don't get to an age where you feel like I can't learn nothing else. That I don't feel that's true. It may be more difficult to grasp it, but you can definitely learn how to navigate better. So that's not a good excuse to me of age. Okay? Because then if that's the case, we're gonna use ageism every time. Oh, y'all want to use age as an excuse? We're not going to do that because you can do all things through God who strengthens you. As parents, we teach and show our kids through our actions or lack of actions. I have a saying, I can see better than I can hear. So true. Exactly. That's a good saying. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I try to explain these things to my family too because people don't understand my personality. People don't understand why I'm the way I am because I used to be different. I used to be more calm, more quiet. Over time, I've gotten aggressive and abrasive, and it's people that can't take it, but it's not for you to take. And I can tone myself down again because I am older and wise enough to know where I am out of line, but I cannot change my personality to fit your ideal of what you think I should be. But anyway, I'm going off the topic. Point being is this: we got to do a better job of breaking generational curses because that show really affected me in a different way. Some of the shows really had me crying, like boohooing. This one I cried a little bit, but it affected me on a mental level. Like money really, the love of money really is the root of all evil, first and foremost. And I start posing questions to myself. Could I fully trust a man with the finances when I'm seeing situations like that? As good as it sounds, we were just talking about Ready to Love Houston with the girl Naya and Chris, and she didn't want him anymore when he said he wants to go half on the mortgage. If he gets into a marriage, he feels like they should go half on the bills. But then, is that really bad? Do you want him to have all of that control and then take that out on you because now you're like a child to him? You're dependent. You know what I'm saying? You're just another bill. I don't want to be another bill for somebody. That like I want to be able to contribute something to a relationship. So it may not be 50-50, but you got to do what works for that relationship. Change happens every day, so we must keep up with change whether we like it or not. Facts. All facts. Superstar Bella, you said good live, interesting perspective, thumbs up. Thank y'all so much. And I'm not staying on here too long. I just wanted to read you guys something. I don't know why I want to read it to you, but I know everybody's not into tarot readings, but these tarot readings been blowing my mind all week, y'all, for Taurus. Not even all week, the past few months, but really, these past couple of weeks has been focusing on love. And again, I told y'all, I don't even feel like right now is the right time for love for me. So it's weird because I'm like, a lot of the stuff they saying is true, but it's also like confusing and weird at the same time. But anyway, there's cards. There's a card for each zodiac sign in the tarot deck. Independent mindset, right? He said she dropped him like a hot potato. She came up bitter when the ladies was together talking. So you finally watched it. I didn't want to tell you the whole thing. I didn't want to say out my mouth, he's gone. But I was basically trying to tell you she was done with him. Like, she was done with him. And that's sad because they were like this, Kathy, the whole 4 or 5 weeks. Malik Sykes says, at this age, we are more than capable of being better. No excuses. My dad wasn't there. You know what? I'm glad he wasn't. I wouldn't be as great as I am today if he was. Ooh, okay. That's interesting. But it's true. We need to do better than what we saw. Some of the things we saw wasn't right, but we have to sometimes, everybody doesn't come to that realization that what they saw was not the way it should have been. And that may have taken an effect on how they view relationships and how they proceed in relationships. You know, I feel that's a lot of Black men's issues. What they saw in relationships. And again, it's not necessarily just a single parent home. It could be the father in the home doing fuck shit and that affecting a child. Like, there's so many different layers. That's a good perspective on his part. 50-50 may be his way of keeping himself in check and not being that monster in charge of all the finances. That's why I said, that's why now looking back at it, I don't think I want a man in 100% control. I would prefer, yes, if he was doing most of the bills and had a mutual respect for me and I can fill in as needed. Then that creates a dynamic that men actually want. Men want the dynamic of being able to have a certain amount of control, but then at the same time, they also want to feel respect for that woman. So by a woman needing a man for every little single thing, I feel men start to lose respect. Oh, I gotta get my hair done. Oh, I gotta get underwear. If I had somebody coming to me with that constantly, even I'm a generous person, it gets annoying. Keep it real. It gets annoying. Somebody gotta constantly ask you for shit. Unless there's a joint bank account and you just take a certain amount, he gives you a certain amount of money, so you don't gotta ask. But constantly asking somebody for shit is not my repertoire. My dad gave me the blueprint for what I want, what not to do. Okay, Artificial Records, that's what's up. India LD says, children see everything. Watch what you do. Okay. Fact. Superstar Bella, everybody is different. We just need healing from the traumatic things that happen in our childhood. Facts. We do. It's sad, but we do. Each parent is equally important. They are. I never said one was more important than the other. Men that didn't have their fathers around, men that didn't have their mothers around, women that didn't have their mothers around, women that didn't have their fathers around. It's going to play a part in your psyche either way. You said COVID should have stopped many of these luxuries. Do your own hair, nails, etc. You know that's not, everybody can't do it. Like, I can't do my own toes, and I need my toes done right now. I cannot do my own toes anymore. They're going to look terrible. I tried it. When the pandemic first hit, I bought this nail kit from Amazon to do your own, what is it called? The poly gel. It breaks so fast. I did my nails, they broke. Then I was using it came with a lamp, like the UV gel lamp, so I tried to use it. That lamp was a piece of shit. Anyway, though, I just need a better kit, I guess. Maybe that kit was cheesy. When it comes to material things and on money, 50-50, if that works on your home, that's all that matters. When it comes to sharing and giving, there should be no limit if you truly love the other. Right. That's facts. No, I did try. I used to do my own toes when I was younger. I used to do it. I never used to get pedicures when I was younger. But it's more to it than getting my toes polished nowadays. I'm getting older. My feet get all type of dry spots and calluses on the bottom. Well, not really a callus, but you know what I'm saying. It's like they need to be filed and straight. When you wear shoes over time, your feet are gonna have wear and tear. Any human being. So for me, that's the part I need help with. Somebody filing my toes and the bottom of my foot. The what you call it? The back of my foot. You said, quick question. Who participates in Kwanzaa? We need to do more of that. It brings people together more. Right. We need to do it this year because we got time to pre-plan for it. Y'all got to get y'all the Canara, the candle holder, the candles. You need 3 red, 3 green, and 1 black for the 7 days. You need your libation cup. You put offerings on the altar of food. You see how Kwanzaa ties into African spirituality and Santeria? Old school click. Offering, libation, candles, good intentions. Every day means something different. Shut up, FBA Nigel. You said hoes. Oh, I forgot I had fish sticks in the oven. They're burnt. They definitely burnt. Well, I'm gonna eat them in there. Just slap some tartar sauce on there. He said, as a man, it took me to lose someone to finally get it. Wow. I have a question, a personal question for you, Papa Soul Searcher. You don't have to answer if it's uncomfortable for you, but do you feel that you were emotionally unavailable in your marriage? Because that's what I was asking earlier about. Do us as women need a man that's emotionally available? Because a lot of times men aren't. Even when they love someone, they with someone in a marriage, sometimes men become emotionally distant, unavailable, meaning there's no connection of the heart. There's like a wall over that layer of emotions to where they act like nothing bothers them. If you're in pain and they see you in pain, it's as if it doesn't bother them. It doesn't faze them. Oh, you need to get out your feelings. That type of thing. That's being emotionally unavailable. Nisha said them polygel deal dual forms are horrible. So maybe it's just all of them. It doesn't work for me. I tried to do a full set about 5 to 6 times and they kept breaking. I was like, no. It didn't even last. I didn't even get through a whole day without it breaking. So I was like, nah, that's like, it's pointless. I have to do acrylic because acrylic is more sturdy. And I definitely can't do that on my own because that's a technique. You got the brush, you got to dab it, apply it properly. Papa Soul Surgeon says, the sad thing was I thought I was until I realized I didn't show it. Wow, that blew me away. Thank you for responding. And the reason why I'm so happy you gave me that response is because you didn't realize it. And a lot of men have that issue. They are not showing their emotional availability to women. And we are emotional creatures. And it seems that we always have to dumb ourselves down, dumb our emotions and feelings down to fit into a man's ideal of being emotionally intelligent, whatever that means. FBA Nigel says, Aaliyah, in that PS 55 school or whatever you went to growing up, did y'all practice Kwanzaa? I didn't go to. You get on my nerves, FBA Nigel. I went to public school when I went to high school was the first time, and they damn sure ain't celebrate Kwanzaa. Now, in the private school I went to, from 1st to 8th grade, they definitely celebrated Kwanzaa. It was an all-black school. And even though they was Christian, they celebrated Kwanzaa and Christmas. We did it all. India LD says, don't block your blessings. Who's blocking my blessings? What did I miss, India? I don't know how I'm blocking my blessings. What did I say? But anyway, You said a lot of times men do think they are being vulnerable, but are not, at least not in a way women see it. That's where we have the breakdown. No emotionally detached persons, right? Thank you, India. Jerome Miller says, I wish I could have known my dad. He would have teach me everything I need to know. I've called the other guy that got my mother pregnant dad because I thought he was my dad. Oh, Lord, Jerome. Sorry to hear that, but that's how life is, unfortunately. And I want to say this for anybody that ever felt bad because they came from a broken home. It's not your fault, first and foremost. It's not your fault. Um, Also, remember, aren't we mammals? Don't they consider human beings mammals? If we are mammals, we are the only mammals that hold on to our young so long. We're the only mammals that nurture and protect our young for 18 or plus years. Think about what I'm saying. Other animals lay their eggs and keep it moving. Cats, if they have a runt, even dogs, if they have a runt, meaning the last pup or kitten in the litter sometimes comes out smaller than the others and a little off, they leave those runts behind. Cats will have a litter of kittens and don't gravitate to all of them. I've had a cat that had several litters, and I watched her do that to two of the kittens, left them behind. I had to bring the kitten to her, like, you gotta feed this kitten, sis. Like, other mammals ain't got no compassion for their young. It is good to have a man that is honest on here. Facts. That's why I said thank you so much for answering. That's why I said he didn't have to answer that question because that's a personal question. But I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. NYC be having all the good little African center programs in school. Harlem is Hotep heaven for young black kids, even though y'all go astray still. That's a fact. You right about that. A lot of Afrocentric behavior, or not even behavior. Aesthetically, it looks like they woke. But are they really woke? Are they really doing the work? I don't know. Yes, exactly. I'm smoking a cigarette according to YouTube so that I don't get flagged. No, it's a white paper. Y'all know what I'm smoking. It's Bob Marley papers because I don't know what my work paper is. Anyway, we hold on that long because of this satanic man-made system we live in. Other mammals live in nature under universal law. Facts. I'm not saying children could care for themselves like humans, but I'm just saying if anybody ever felt down because, their upbringing wasn't the greatest or they end up in a broken marriage, whatever, listen, our job is harder than any other mammal. I've saw, what is it, penguins that leave their young? Which one of them animals that they don't even check for them for long at all? I think it's the penguins. The father comes to look for the young and the mother keeps it moving. I forgot. Don't quote Betty Anderson. You said funny. Malik Sykes says, I used to feel about being born out of wedlock, but I now get to make the decision to not have kids out of wedlock. So with that being said, I'm good. No love lost for my mother. Okay, good for you. It's good, but it's good that you identify that. Everybody doesn't have the ability to identify those things. You understand? Some people can identify, damn, I watched my mother struggle emotionally, financially. I don't ever want to be in that position. Some people don't realize that's what they're seeing, and they end up being in the same position of what they saw. That other guy been in and out. When I was a child, he had my two younger brothers who are 16 and 14. Oh, wow. You said that other guy. Lord. I guess you don't like him, Duran. Hate the word bastard to my core. We were all supposed to be here. Well, who even uses that word anymore? I don't think people ever use that word in context. They call people bastards that have parents. They just like the word. But guys, again, I said it wasn't gonna be a long live. I want to read a couple things to y'all. I was saying in the tarot, every card represents a different sign. Mine is the Hierophant. But I'm just gonna briefly tell y'all. Aries represents the Emperor, right? The Emperor means you are not afraid to stand in your power, to make decisions, to impact the greater good, right? Mind you, hold on. Before I go there, there's 4 suits in tarot, right? And 4 elements in astrology. The suits in tarot show the elements. So the cups in tarot is water energy. The wands is fire. Swords are air. And the pentacles are earth. So y'all know what the earth signs, the fire signs, the air signs, and the water signs are, right? Well, let's get there. Anyway, so Aries is the emperor. Taurus is me, the Hierophant. It's the symbol of the religious leader, representing the value and educational foundations that we seek and adhere to regularly. All right, I'm just giving y'all a brief description. Gemini signify the great duality in all of us and are represented by the lovers of the tarot deck. Using their skills of empathetic communication, this mutable sign teaches us the significance of integrating all of the parts of ourselves to accomplish our highest good. All right. Cancer is the chariot, a vehicle for transportation and change, represents the sign of Cancer. Crabs carry their home on their back and molt to shed their skin. So they are continually creating and recreating solid structures in a transient world. Lion, Leo. The lion tamer imagery of the strength card has a rather obvious connotation with the fixed fire sign of Leo. Strength invites us into the arena to rumble with vulnerability. Get ready to step into the spotlight of influence. All right. Virgo, ancient hermitage. Oh, it's the hermit. Virgo is the hermit. Ancient hermitage nods to a life of zero distractions to perfect a spiritual path. In modern times, we can expect themes of mastery or self-explorative pursuits. It's no surprise that the mutable, hardworking Virgos are associated with the hermit for the inner discipline they possess in order to achieve enlightenment. Let me see what y'all saying. You said the minister said Black people lost the sign to mating. That's facts. I applaud the men who help raise children and they did not concede. Right. Shouts out to all the stepdads. Y'all are appreciated. Yes. Hey, Sax Booby Lex. Indeed, your husband is a Cancer. Oh, that's what's up. You said Virgo, that's you. We know you a Virgo. All right, Libra is justice. The scales are the symbol of the justice card and their astrological counterpart, Libra. Everyone is equal in the eyes of this cardinal sign, consistently doing their best to find a harmonious balance for what is fair and just. Whether we are evaluating or being evaluated, justice reminds us that integrity always wins out in the end. Scorpio represents death. To be clear, the death card isn't literally predictive of death. Rather, it means a major transformation is around the corner. Scorpios are not concerned with superficiality. They are the truth seekers who can always count on for a root cause analysis. Expect an in-depth meaning of life conversation with these fixed signs. Sagittarius is temperance. Sagittarians are a blend of duality, just like their fellow mutable signs. They are the explorers of the zodiac, consistently striving for an alchemic balance of traveling and staying home, turning up and going to bed early. We can have it all, but not all at once. All right. Capricorn represents the devil. Capricorns are associated with an earthly success orientation. This cardinal sign's ambition can sometimes come to their detriment. So the devil reminds us to stop ourselves short of the 7 deadly sins when it comes to reaching our goals. Mm, mm-mm. Aquarius is the star. The star's imagery shows the water bearer gathering sustenance for their community under the night sky. It's the Aquarians who act as the humanitarians of the zodiac, offering their strategic, inspirational help. This fixed sign has adapted themselves into offer more airy skills like building technology. Whatever their cause, the star asks us to contribute our unique talents. I'm almost there, y'all. And the last is Pisces, the moon. The moon rules the tides of the ocean, our emotions, and the fish Pisces. This charming, creative, and empathetic sign is often going with the flow, which can also mean getting caught up in the undertow. The moon asks us to evaluate the undercurrent of our subconscious or tap into our intuitive flow. I don't know why I wanted to share that with y'all, but I'm getting into tarot, so these tarot readings is blowing me away. So I just want to share that with y'all. Maybe y'all took something from it, but yeah, all the signs play a different role, and it's a beautiful thing. I love astrology. You said that reading that you just read about Virgos was dead on with me, right? That's why I love astrology. Y'all should check out some tarot readings on YouTube. They have tarot readers for all of the signs. They do some do them daily, some do them weekly, and it's free. Some people their reading was so spot on. I had to donate. I had to, even a little something, just $5-10. I love astrology, so I hope somebody. He said it's tough being a Libra. I'm done. Oh, you're welcome for listening. And thank y'all again for everything with the Buy Black. I'm still taking businesses down so that we can do it again this weekend. It's not going to be as big as the first one. But we could incorporate 5 to 10 businesses every week for one of the lives. And yeah, that's it, y'all. So I gotta handle some things, and I'll see y'all, if not tonight, tomorrow. I love y'all. Be one and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Oh, Rain Victorious, you came in as soon as I'm leaving. Sorry, you're gonna have to catch the replay. I got a couple of things to do, but I'll do another astrology live too, because I have so many different books and websites I can read from. So if y'all want to hear some, let me know. And yeah, later, y'all. You have a good one too, Rain.